Oh, what is up, people? How are we doing today? Levels is good. Levels is good. Let's just double check. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Where are we at? So, let's see. We're good. All right. What's up, y'all? I'm gonna probably be back and forth, ripping and running, because we are trying to get these systems updated. If you saw the title of the stream, we are hanging out here at the Alpha Esports and Technology Center as we have a big update today with the new season of Overwatch dropping today, as well as I believe season 20 of Apex Legends is also dropping today, and they are we did the pre-download stuff, but they still look like they're going to be let's see. So we're just going to share this screen real quick. So as you can see, we're going to be here for a little while. We're talking 38 gigs of hard drive space. So, or they're saying, it's temporary, but still, that 38 gigs is a lot when you're going across all the machines that I have here. So we will be doing a lot of downloading and uploading and whatnot today. So in the meantime, I guess I'll take a look at. I'll be taking a look at a couple things before I head out. So I will be rocking with y'all today for a couple hours before I head to my next meeting. So here's some time, if anybody has any questions or anything that they want to ask. We could talk about gaming. We could talk about cybersecurity. We can talk about life. We could talk about mental health. Whatever it is y'all want to talk about, man, let's chop it up for a little bit. I'll tell y'all what I've been up to, and yeah, let's see where it goes. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share this real quick. In here, where we at? All right, so yeah, so like I said, so we got 38 gigs of craziness to download. So let's just go ahead. I'm actually going to move this over here, and let's see. Let me get this off camera for y'all. Let's hide this, and then let's see if we can actually. I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to close this out. We're going to minimize, and then we are going to come back up. And as you can see here, I'll just go ahead and show you this screen real quick. So the updates have already started. So they're conducting a live maintenance. So they said it's going to take a little bit. So we may need to restart the game client. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this show on the road and get it moving. But so let's get this off screen. I don't need to keep doing that. All right, so while we're waiting, like I said, I'm gonna step off for a second. But let me know in the chat how y'all doing, how your week is going. I know it's only Tuesday, but let let's chop it up for a little bit. All right. So I will be right back. Just again, let me know in the chat how everything is going. Let me, what are some wins y'all got early on this week? All right. I'll be right back. I'll be right there, y'all. I'm just getting these PCs ready. All right. All right, y'all. So I'm back. Sorry about that. We just gonna stagger it a little bit. So what I'm doing is, like I said, we got to get these updates updating. So I just opened up the BattleNet clients on multiple PCs and started pushing out the new update. So yes, like I said, so just I guess while we're waiting, give a quick rundown of everything that has been going on here at the Alpha Esports and Technology Center. We've had a great and crazy few weeks. We just completed the second week of our Smash Brothers tournament, which we're doing. We're going to be doing tournaments hopefully every week or every other week. I'm gonna try to get to them as much as possible. I know we have a lot of other events that we have going on. Also on the weekends. So obviously on those days, if there's a conflict, then we'll have to postpone some of the dates. But for the most part, what we're going to do is do different types of tournaments. Right now, we're starting out with Smash Brothers. We plan on implementing some more as we get more and more people signed up. So we're looking to do some Mario Kart. We're looking to do some Mortal Kombat, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6. We're looking to do a lot of different tournaments. And but like I said, we just started out a couple weeks ago. We had our first tournament here at the center. Well, actually, our first tournament of 2024 here at the center. And that went really well. And then we followed up with going to Atlanta Comic Con this past weekend and having another tournament there, which was just crazy. We ended up actually doing multiple tournaments because we were doing single elimination tournaments because we had a lot of people like passerbys who wanted to go, but they also wanted to kind of go back and see some of the things that was going on during the event. So we didn't want to do like double elimination tournaments that would take up a lot of time. Instead, we just did we did tournaments like 16 people, single elimination tournaments. And we did, like I said, I think we did 2 or 3. But it was a great time. We got to hang out with some really cool people. We got to hang out with Malcolm from Tech Organic. We got to hang out with Coach E from Pharaoh's Conclave. Got to hang out with Tariq and his beautiful wife, Kelly Rose, at from Pitch Play, and just going to say that that was definitely a great time to build and network with some people. On top of meeting some new people and seeing some great Smash Brothers gameplay. And then we even brought one of our retro gaming systems that we have and had the Nintendo 64 version of Smash Brothers going. So while they were playing the current Smash Brothers, they could also, feel, if they felt a little nostalgic, play the original and see, where it came from. So that was really cool. We also have our, just kind of looking at a couple messages here. Okay. We also had our Overwatch team practice this past weekend. That's going pretty well. That's going really strong. We are getting prepared for the upcoming season that we have partnered with another league, the Valhallan League, to compete against teams all across the country. I will say, and I'm not just saying this because I'm biased or because I'm their coach or whatever. I will say that I am super proud of this group of people, because what they have accomplished so far has been amazing. Watching them grow again just through these few weeks has been something that has just been really cool to watch and take part of and witness. They're taking it extremely seriously, but they're having a lot of fun with it. But the other thing is the growth in just who they are as people has been amazing. Now, a lot of them I've had in previous setups or previous games, seasons, or just previously, right? A lot of them have had so many. I've been able to watch them since we kind of opened up our doors last summer, or last fall, I should say, and to see where they are now has been amazing to watch. So if any of my crew is watching, again, I am super proud of y'all. And like I said, I'm not just saying that just because I'm your coach or just because y'all come here. One thing that I take pride in is we focus on the gamer as much as we do the game. And when I say that, I mean, we have conversations about, staying motivated, not just in playing the game, but in life in general, how to deal with difficult situations, how to deal with stress, when to walk away and take a step back, when to, when to take a step back, when to help, when to help each other, when to help motivate one another, how to deal with issues or with depression or stress. And we do that. So again, we're not focusing on just the game. I care about the gamer more than I do the game, and to see that trickle down onto them, and now they're looking out for each other. I mean, it's not like they're It's not like they don't talk to each other about things when they're frustrated. They communicate, but they communicate effectively. They work on, everybody knows that, everybody has a part to play, especially, and that's another reason why I love them working as a team, playing a team game like Overwatch, is because there's so many things happening and so many people have um, different roles, right? So Overwatch, you have your tanks, you have your supports, you have your damages. Some supports can do, can almost be like a hybrid type scenario. Um, but it requires a lot of communication, and it requires more than just screaming at each other or anything like that. It requires some really effective and active communication, this constant communication, and that's something that we work on constantly. So again, to see them do that and then to show them the parallels in the real world of how communication basically just essentially runs everything, right? If you're a part of any type of team, whether you're a part of a technical team, a cybersecurity team, a development team, a leadership team, a management, whatever, you have a team of people, and you have to be able to communicate effectively and play to everyone's strengths, and know when to identify certain things where others are struggling or their weaknesses. Um, and we again just using the gaming as the bridge to to highlight that is cool in itself, but then also to just see them buy into it and then also thrive in it is been really cool to watch as well. So, all right. So let me see. I'm going to see if we can bring up some stuff. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of cybersecurity stuff while we're waiting, since we are a tech and gaming facility. Let's see if we can work on the tech side while we're getting the gaming ready. So just sit tight. I will be right back again. I'm just gonna check these downloads and make sure they're going well. Then I'm gonna start running the other ones, trying to do like a stagger effect because like I said, 38 gigs is a lot. I don't care even if I am running a gig internet speed over here. Um, when you have as many systems as I do, PCs, consoles, and things like that, it takes up a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. All right, sit tight. I'll see you in a minute. One more second, y'all. Okay, so we got a couple already going. All right. Woo! All right, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. um, right now we have 1, 2, 3. Was that 4, 5? So it looks like we have five going right now with the update. So let's see. Hello, sorry for bothering you on the promotion. No, sorry. I'm not accepting anything right now. All right, so let's see if we can log in. Put my information in here so y'all can't see my login stuff. All right, cool. All right. One more second. One more, I promise. Okay. You know what's really crazy? Updating on consoles. That's a pain. No, I don't want to register. Man. All right. Getting a lot of spam messages out here. These in LinkedIn and stuff. All right. So where are we? I want to let's share let's share my try hack me screen. All right, cool. Let's see what we could work on again while we're hanging out and waiting. And like I said, I'll do a little bit of Q&A while anybody has if anybody has any questions for me. Um, let's just chop it up for a little bit. Where do we want to go? I'm going to be very mindful of where I go because there's something that I want to do that I want to work on. I think y'all have heard me talk about it a couple times, but I guess I haven't gone like official with the announcement yet. But I want to work on a application security training path that is um, mostly free, and I'm using TryHackMe for a lot of it. So I don't want to do that just yet. Or maybe we could actually just go ahead and get started in it. I'm not sure. You know what? I guess we'll figure this out. Um, Let me know what y'all think. So what I've been working on essentially is um coming up with this path, but also building a community. So I wanted to start with, like I said, it is a lot of there are going to be a lot of modules in it because we're going to be using so many different platforms, and the goal is to just show you not only the technical side, or I should say the educational side, but we're going to do a lot of hands-on stuff with it where um, you'll learn how to build out your lab. You'll learn how to um, use different um, platforms. So we'll go to things like over the wire, or we'll download and install virtual machines and virtual labs, so that this way there is um, several different things you can learn in this platform. And by the time you're done, you'll be able to spin up a lab. You'll be able to learn the different tools. So that's why I'm just being mindful of what I'm going to put in to what I'm going to put out there. But like I said, I think it's super important that we learn a lot of these skills, especially for my cybersecurity folks. Y'all have been seeing what's been going on lately with different articles, especially like for my pen testers and ethical hackers. Y'all see what's been going on with a lot of these articles that have been written, and people kind of giving their think pieces, if that's what you want to call it. And I'm not here to agree or disagree wholly. There are some parts that make a lot of sense. There's some parts that I feel like are uh, based off of their personal experiences, and not indicative of the industry as a whole. There are some that I feel are um, pretty large reaches, but I'm not here to discredit anybody's experiences. because if I talked about some of my experiences, some people would believe it, some people wouldn't, and whether or not they believe it or not, it's something that was experienced or something that I experienced. So I'm not here to discredit anything. Like I said, I'm just saying, from my experiences, I've seen some of the things that they were talking about, especially when you're talking about the consultancies that are just sweatshops or the pen test puppy mills, as they like to call them. Um, and then I've seen some where that they're a little bit better. I've seen some where they're honestly just a combination of the two. They start out really great, and then they're not. Like one of my last pen testing jobs, right? They wanted to start out the consultancy side or the pen testing services side, and it was almost like once they saw how much money they could make, they turned into that the puppy mill. So it just all depends on want to do that. It just all depends on the company that you work for and what you're willing to I guess put up with. It's hard to, like I said, it's really, come on, man. It's really hard to say. So anyway, so back to what I was trying to do before we started going on that tangent about that article. So yes, like I said, so we can do screw it, whatever. Let's just do the introduction to cybersecurity. Why not? Right? Let's see what's in here. So we have an introduction to offensive security, introduction to defensive security, and the careers in cybersecurity. And then we have introduction to offensive security, web app operation systems, and network security. I don't know if I want to get into one of these or as much as I want to do an actual lab. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's do Mr. Robot. Okay, key 1, key 2, key 3. All right, so we'll go ahead and to access material, start machines, you'll need to join the room. So let's go ahead and join the room. Connect your network. Can I just start the attack box? Yeah, let's just start the attack box. All right. All right, let's see how we doing on our updates though. Let's bring this over here. All right. There's a lot of silence. All right, like I said, anybody have any questions for me? Just throw them up in the chat. Like I said, I'll be more than happy to chop it up with y'all while we're working through this machine. I want to be able to kind of get this done while we're updating, and like I said, I want to get started on at least play a couple games of the new season and see how some of my main characters feel in playing. And then I know my team is will be practicing a little bit tonight. Hopefully they're running their updates when they get home from school and work and wherever they are. All right, so we are connected. So let's go ahead and okay, so okay, we'll hit enter to close. Enter to close. Now we'll just bring up another terminal. And it says what is that, 10.8? No, what's the IP address? 10.10.18.232. That's our IP address. Okay. We don't want to do the config file. We don't need to do all of that. .806. So let's just ping 10.8.0.6. That's a big negative there. Ten 18.232. 10.10.18.232. We don't need to do that because we have an attack box. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, my fault. My fault, y'all. We're still had a second machine we needed to start up. All right, so for those who are just tuning in, we are live from the Alpha Esports and Technology Center, but we are waiting for some updates to get completed with Overwatch and Apex Legends. So we're just trying to hang out and get some cybersecurity stuff done while we wait. So we're here trying to get these VMs going, or get these. What is happening? There we go. Yeah, we're here trying to get these VMs and stuff moving. And once we do, we'll see if we can quickly get through this machine. All right, 10.10.140.174. There we go. So we'll just ping it first to see if it's up and running. All right, so we got some action on that machine. Fantastic. So now we know the IP address. We know the IP address is live. So now we're going to run nmap, and we're going to do -sv for a service scan, and then we're going to do ssc for default scripts, and then we're going to do a -v because we want it to be verbose, and we'll do 10.10.140.174, and we'll hit go. And let's see, we have ports 80 and 443 open. See if it finds anything else. So it's initiating. So it's scanning these services. So no, it doesn't look like there's anything else. So while we wait, we'll go ahead and we'll open up a web browser, and we will go to the IP address. So that is 10.10.140.174. And let's see what it says. Looks like it's booting up a system. Okay. Hello, friend. If you've come for a reason. You may not be able to explain it yet, but there's a part of you that's exhausted with this world. A world that decides where you work, who you see, and how you empty and fill your depressing bank account. Even the internet connection you're using to read this is costing you, slowly chipping away at your existence. There are things you want to say. Soon I will give you a voice. Today your education begins. Commands: prepare, F society, inform, question, wake up, and join. So let's see, prepare. So this looks like it's actually the one from the game. I mean, from the actual show. So they actually made a room off of the show. That's pretty cool. And for those my cybersecurity folks who have not seen Mr. Robot, I highly recommend it. It's a really cool show. All right, so we did. Why is it doing it again? I don't want to do, okay, yeah, let's say I don't want it to do the prepare again. All right, so the next thing I'm going to try to do while we're doing this is let's right click and let's view the source code. So while we're playing around with this, so we said prepare, we already looked at prepare. Are these, let's just see if they're all videos. So F society. Yep, they look like they're all videos. Are you ready to join that society? Okay, enter the command, see list commands for help. I just backed out of that. That's why. Let's see. Inform. Deflategate scandal. Oh man. So yeah, this is definitely from the show. But if you remember, Deflategate, that was good old Tom Brady in the Patriots. But they're not going to say that here. They said our hero cheated. We choose our heroes, gladiators. Okay, let's show them we got balls. Yada yada yada. Okay, it's Met Gala 2015, Middle East credit card usage. Okay, billionaire secretly launches private rocket into space. We know who that's about as well. All right, so we have informed. Let's see. Let's go back to F Society again. Ooh. Well, so as you can see here, this is behind a WordPress site. That's good to know. And that was actually done by accident because we didn't look at the source code over here. We just open it up and we see the user IP 208.185.115.6. Base URL is index HTML. Redirect is false. log function, log history. Okay. Class browser upgrade. You are using browser browsehappy.com. Upgrade your browser to improve your experience. Google Plus confirmation. All right. So, well, we know it's a WordPress site. So, yeah. So we can do a couple things here. We can continue with our content discovery, which I still think we will do because, we want to make sure we get all the information we can. But we can also run WP scan as well. So, but since we already know that it has a WordPress, it already has WordPress there. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go back to our terminal. Let's minimize this, bring our terminal back up here. So we know 443 and port 80 is open. Port 22 for our SSH port is closed. And that's all we have. All right, so let's open up another terminal here just because I want to keep that information, and I didn't call an output flag to record that information. So now we're going to do, I haven't done GoBuster in a while, but I think it's GoBuster, and then it's dir for directory, and then it's -u for the URL, and then it's HTTP. That's HNTTP. So http://10.10.140.174, and then it's a -w for wordless, and the wordless is share www. No, wordless. Okay, derb. We're using the derb wordless, and then let's go with common.txt, and let's do a -o for the desktop, and then I want it to say directories.txt, right? GoBuster directory -u IP address word list. All right. So we have a redirect on the admin site, and again, which probably makes sense since we know it's WordPress. We know it's WordPress. So, oh, it does not look like it likes that command. Stop it. So again, there you go. That's how we know there's definitely a WordPress site again, because we just did login, which redirected to the WP login. All right, so there's a couple other things we could do too. We can run Nick2. We can run WP scan. And then we can mess around with a couple other things, right? We can even try just typing in username and passwords. All right, so let's just close this. We know we have this here, so we'll minimize this for now. I mean, okay, let's do this. Nick2 -h 10.10. Yes, 10.10, 140, 174. Okay, so admin, blah, 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 intro, login, there's a 302. So again, okay, and there's a robots.txt. So actually we can do that as well. Let's look at the robots.txt file. So 10.10.140.174 slash robots.txt. Oh, that's because I said robost. Robots.txt, and then we have fsociety.dic key 1 of 3.txt. So it looks like we got our first key, because now if we just go take this, copy and paste, there's our first key. All right, so we just move that back over, hit submit, boom. All right, so we got our first key. Now let's go back and we'll do the F Society file. Looks like it's downloading. So I downloaded a file, which I didn't want it to download anything, but okay. If we go ahead and open the file, looks like it's another word list. All right, so we have another word list here. That's good. All right, so we'll go close this. We'll go to our downloads folder. We'll open it. And now I want you to move over to the desktop. Put everything on my desktop. All right, and now we'll just close out of there. So, all right. Again, we know, let's see, did WPS scan finish? Nope, WPS scan is still going. All right, and then we already have this, and we know we got some 302s on the sign up. But again, we also know that it is a WordPress site. So we'll just do WP scan, and then we'll just run the help just to see what we need to do to run it. And it's just WP scan -- URL with the URL and -v for verbose. Right? Okay, so we'll clear it. And now we'll do again WP scan -- no, we'll do -v and then -URL HTTP 10.10.140.174. Do you want to update the database? I'm just going to hit no for now. Let's see. Let's see if you give us anything. Didn't give us much. So the cron jobs are enabled. So old theme. So that may be useful. No API result vulnerability data. Okay. You can get a free API token. Okay. So now we'll run it again. And now I'll just say, yes, update the database. And see if anything different pops up. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Nope. So it's pretty much the same. All right, cool. So we know, what did it tell us? We know that it's using an old version of WordPress. That's vulnerable. It's using an out-of-date theme. That can also be vulnerable. So, all right. So we'll just go ahead and clear that. So what do we know so far? We know that it's running WordPress. We know that it's running a 2015, has a 2015 theme installed. We know it's running an old version of WordPress. And we got our first flag, and then we also got a word list. So now we'll mess around with the site directly. We will use also probably fire up Burp Suite in a second. So let's just go back to our site because we know that. So let's just see. Admin password. Save. Now this is interesting. This is what you would call the verbose error message, right? Because it essentially told us that the username was invalid. Not username and password was invalid, just the username, right? So if we just said admin, for example, so let's see, let's see, confirm it. Admin, don't save, invalid username, lost your password, right? Okay, let's do this. User password, don't save, invalid username, did you lose your password? Okay. All right. Maybe I was off a little bit, but it says invalid username, but typically it should say invalid username and or password. It shouldn't just tell you one or the other. It should tell you both if both is wrong. All right. So but it says, like I said, it says invalid username. So the password might actually just be valid that I used, which was just password. So now we need to go ahead and figure out how to do that. And what to do that, we're going to proxy this using Burp Suite. So we'll go ahead and we will open up our Foxy proxy, and Foxy proxy does have a Burp proxy set up already for port 8080, which is good. So now we'll just go in here, minimize, and then no best postman. We'll just bring up Burp Suite here, a community edition. All right, it's just a temporary project. That's fine. And we'll just use Burp defaults. That's also fine. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do, I'm thinking we're going to do like a credential stuffing attack since we don't really know the username or the password. But what we're going to do is I'm not going to update Burp right now. What we're going to do is we are going to use Burp Suite to capture this request. So we're going to turn off intercept because we don't want it to essentially like stop the whole request. So when intercept is on, if you run the request, it'll stop it, and then you can look at it, disseminate it, and then pass the request over. 1 second, y'all. All right. So yeah, so when intercept is off, it'll just go like you're when you're regularly browsing, but it's catching. Burp Suite is still catching and proxying that information. So here I'll just show you. So intercept is off. Also, if we didn't want to use Foxy Proxy or Firefox, you could use Burp has its own browser that automatically proxies with Burp Suite. But we'll just go ahead and continue doing what we're doing. All right. So again, we're just going to go ahead and type in admin and then type in a password of password, and then we'll just hit login. And you'll see it just says invalid username, yada, yada, yada. But if we go here to the HTTP history, and these are just our Firefox attachments. We'll go to our target, and we will add this to our scope. We'll get rid of everything else. Now let's go back to HTTP history. I don't really care. Ooh, looks like Overwatch is done. So I don't care about none of those. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of that. Hit yes, but then if you look, here is our command, or here's our request that we made. So log admin password was password, and then it came back with a 200. But like I said, it didn't give us any access. All right, so we'll go ahead and we're going to send this to intruder. So but to do that, we're going to right click. And if you go here, we're going to go to intruder. And then you'll see the intruder tab lit up. So you'll go ahead and click intruder. And there's our command again. And now we want to tell it, we want to go ahead and tell it that we're going to look for the username. So let's start with that. So we'll do username, and you'll click these two little squiggly lines, and you'll see it lights this up in green. Right. And now we'll go ahead and move over to our payloads. And then for our payloads, we want to load that F Society dictionary file that we had. Okay. So now that's the file that we just got when we got our first flag. So now what's going to happen is we're going to run our credential stuffing attack, where each of these words will get put in. Each of these words will get put in here. So where you see the squiggly lines for admin, every word in that payload, in this word list, we will try to log in with there. So we'll replace admin with true, then we'll replace admin with false, and then wikia and from, v, now, wikia, extensions. And we're going to go down this whole list until we get until we get a proper response. And that could be a 200. That could be the file size or the file length, or the length of the response is different. It could be several different things. But we're going to go ahead and hit start. And this is just telling you that the community version is a little bit slower, so that's fine. So if you look here, everything is going to give us a status code 200, which is fine. You actually want on the security side of things, you don't want to give them any hints. So you don't want to give them like a status, like a 400 or something like that, because now that's gonna require going to make them try to figure out, well, what can I do to get a different message? So if you just do status 200, like everything is 200, that's just saying, you know what? Yep, you right. Everything is right. No matter what, you're right. They won't really know the difference, right? Because now if you're looking 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, you won't really know. And we'll go ahead and we'll let this rock a little bit more. But there's a way that you can try to figure it out. And actually, I might have just already did it already since it got here. So request number 15 came back with a 200. But if you look, the length was a little bit different than everybody else. So our baseline was 4106, 4106, 4106. So that's how you know at 4105. That's how you know we're getting generic messages. But this one, the length is a little bit larger or longer. So now that requires us that tells us that there's something different opposed to everything else. And now if we go ahead and look at the response for our folks who don't really understand what you're saying or what you see here, you can hit render. It doesn't let you do that. Your OS does not support Burp's browser running in the sandbox. All right, so we'll just go back to the pretty. And essentially, what it's telling us is that, actually, I'll do you one better. That user's name was Elliot, which again, Mr. Robot, another Mr. Robot reference. So we'll just go ahead and go 10.10.140.174, log in, and the username is Elliot. The password field is empty. The password you entered for the username Elliot is incorrect. So there it is. There it is again. Now you know Elliot is the right password. Elliot is the right user. But this is the verbose error messaging that I was talking about. So again, that's twice. So the first time it just said username isn't right, but you don't know the password. Now this one's telling you, hey, username, you got the username. The username is just fine. It's the password that's wrong. You don't want your applications telling you where you're right and where you're wrong. You just want, like, it started out okay with the 200s, and it was like, okay, fine. Now there's a couple things that we could do with this information. Since we're already here, we can go back and use Burp Suite, right? I mean, it makes sense that we might as well just do that since we've already used Burp Suite once already. But that other tool, the other thing that we used earlier, WP Scan, we could use WP Scan as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and now let's see. I don't like this split screen thing, but you know what? It's fine. So we'll go ahead, and now we know that Elliot is the user that we need. So now we'll just go back and switch our positions. So here we'll go back to Burp. We'll clear it. So now you see that those two squiggly lines are gone, but we'll type in Elliot because we know Elliot is the right username. And then for password, we'll make this our target. And then our payload is exactly the same. So now we're going to do a brute force password attack. So when you're trying to figure out the username, that's credential stuffing. When you're trying to do a password, that's like a brute force password attack. Now, hopefully there aren't any security settings in place that will time us out, because that would suck, and then we wouldn't be able to get through it. But I doubt there is. So, but just to be on the safe side, or not to be on the safe side, but we'll figure it out when we go. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to run it this way, and then I'm going to show you how to run it in using WP scan. So we'll go ahead and hit start attack. Same thing, community edition of burp is blah blah blah. And now again, if you see, again 200 status code is yep, sure, you got it. And we'll let it rock for a little bit. So everything is around 4156, 4156. And again, that's because the first time, we didn't have the user, but now that we have the username, 4156, that's the baseline. So now somewhere around 4156, 4157. That just means that, basically everything is where it's supposed to be at the moment. Now with WP scan, while we're waiting for that, we're going to run WP scan. So WP scan, and then we're going to say same thing, URL, http://10.10. Come on, stop that. I messed up. I fat fingered it, and it's not going. It's going to act up. So we're going to go ahead and close the terminal, and we're going to open up another terminal. We're going to try to get WP scan --URL http://10.10.147. 140.174. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do -u IoT for Elliot, and then our password file is going to be -p, and we're going to tell it to look at /desktop F Society. And we'll go ahead and hit run. And while we're doing that, let's see if we see anything different. Nope, still going. So the reason why I'm running that now is because WP scan is going to move a lot faster than Burp Suite, right? So if you see Burp Suite is on 138 of 858,160 different possibilities. We do not have all day for that, and this is again because we're on a VM, and two, Burp Suite Community Edition is super slow, and that's because they want you to spend the $400 to get Burp Suite Professional, which honestly, if you're doing web app or bug bounty stuff, you'll make that money back fairly quickly. But we're not doing that right now. But if you see here, we ran WP scan. WP scan's giving us all the information that we saw before. But now it's enumerating, configuring. So now it's doing a password attack. So as you can see here, it's moving a little bit faster than Burp. So I guess we got a little bit of time. It looks like our update for Overwatch is ready to go, and now we're also updating season 20 of Apex Legends. Now, I mean, it was almost a 40 gig download. So, doing that across almost 20 PCs, and then you also got a few consoles being updated as well. Things get a little bit laggy around here. So we're still doing pretty good here. I want to go ahead and just check a couple things, make sure I don't have anything going in my chats. Oh, for those, Sony spent $600 million on Michael Jackson's catalog. Okay, that's interesting. Um, it's paying at least $600 million for half. Wow. Okay, that's why it's important to always own your stuff, folks. Because even after he passed, a report says Michael Jackson's estate makes $75 million from his assets, including merchandise and royalties. And now they just paid $600 million for half of the catalog. So again, $600 million for half. That values it at what, 1.2 billion. So I mean, his family is good. I mean, they were already good, but I mean, they're gonna stay good for years. Kids should be fine because they'll, unless they just squander away the money, which I highly doubt. All right, let's see. Let's see if we have any updates while we're waiting. So again, Burp is at 213, which is still slow. And then our WP scan is at 144. So it's right behind. It's right behind Burp. Let's close some of these other things we got going on. Again, this is why it's important to do your proper reconnaissance, people. Because again, had we not done our reconnaissance and we just kind of threw whatever at it, we wouldn't have known that is a WordPress site, which we obviously need because now we need to gain access into that WordPress site. The other stuff that we've done, I'm pretty sure is going to be very helpful, knowing that is running an outdated version or an outdated theme. That's something you can do also in your recon, is looking up vulnerabilities for WordPress version 4, was it 4.1 something, or finding vulnerabilities for the 2015 WordPress theme. But again, like I said, we're just kind of gonna wait until somebody gives us something that we can work with. Go ahead and close that. Move this over here. Okay. Hmm. Meanwhile, they were here too. Everybody's going crazy because Beyonce's on Twitch. All right. So here's what I think is going to end up happening. Like I said, obviously we're going to get the password to get in here, and then once we get in here, we're more than likely going to use one of two of those vulnerabilities to gain access. If I remember, uh, if I remember clearly, we should be able to do essentially almost like a file, like almost like a file upload type of exploit, where we're going to change out the stuff in that theme to get us our shell. And again, like I said, we are streaming live we're using Restream. So we're streaming on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We're on two Twitch channels. We are on two YouTube channels, and we are on LinkedIn. I believe we are also on Trovo and Facebook. So we are streaming from 7, 8 different platforms. So I'm just trying to monitor all the chats in all of them. But shout out to Restream. For those who are streamers and want to stream on multiple platforms, I would highly recommend Restream. I mean, there's a couple other ones out there. There's StreamYard and there's a couple other, but Restream is my personal preference. I've been using it now for a few years. It's really easy to use. It's pretty simple. The instructions are pretty simple, so that's why I prefer Restream. And it also, like I said, allows you to just kind of stream to multiple platforms and push out all types of cool things. And for example, I have my QR codes, and I have the the lower ticker that you see here early that we were doing earlier. I could also do other things with the lower third, right? So, geez, I need to change that. We haven't done Fortnite since the fall. But yeah, like I said, shout out to Restream for the platform. Okay, we are still trudging along. We are we're struggling here, y'all. We're struggling. Let's go ahead and stop. We're gonna cancel this one because it doesn't make any sense to run both of them at the same time. I thought that the WP scan one would eventually catch up and we would be able to stop the burp sweep, but doesn't look like that's happening. So, all right, so let's go ahead and I want to do that. Bring this up here. All right, cool. So, again, while we're still waiting, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get this done before I gotta go. I have a meeting for the center, and then we have our open gaming, and then I also have my Overwatch team practice, and I want to kind of jump in and um, catch what they're doing. We do we have our practices when we're doing like on Saturdays, and then also on Thursdays when we have our other coach come in, and he was a former Overwatch pro who comes in and helps with them and gives them advice, and it's a great change of pace. So they're not dealing with me. But on Tuesdays, I typically let them run the show. I try to stay as much in the scene, behind the scenes as possible, and I let them go. Hold on one second. I need to take this call. All right, y'all. I'm back, and we are still waiting. I'm just trying to see how long this. This is a maybe big word file. Oh man. Knows. Yep, like I said, so we're waiting. Well, again, we're still kind of waiting. Where is? I doubt they have it in here. Okay. We'll just go ahead. Yikes. Okay. Come on, y'all. So I'm over here trying to do a couple things. Guess I should have used my pro version of Burp Suite. Oh, mercy. Mm-mm. All right. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little bit just because this is taking way too long. So y'all won't be able to see it here because I am opening up another tab. And I'm going to see if I can find this somewhere else. Okay. And here we go. Do this. I'll go here. Man. Okay. Well, that one didn't do us no good because they blocked that out, which they should have done. Good for you. All right, there we go. So we're logged in now. So now that we did that, WordPress C4.3.1 running 2015 theme. So now I believe if we go into our appearances, we hit our theme. We hit our theme. Back up. There it is. Editor. Right, and then this is our table of contents. And then we should be in our 404 template. And I want to go ahead and go ahead and close that. Move this over here in my rev.php file. Then I want to do the IP address right here. We're going to change this to 10.10.140.174. And then we're going to change the port. Should we just leave it to 1234? Yeah, let's just leave the port at 1234. Okay. All right, cool. We'll hit save. We'll just go. Stop it. Copy. Then we come back over here to our theme. And we click all, and then we hit paste. And then we need to make sure that it is indeed 10.10.140.174. All right, and now we're going to set up a netcat listener. So netcat-nlvp. And then we're going to say port 1234. So you're already listening. Okay, fantastic. So we have our port listening. We'll hit our update file. Okay, so now what should happen here, right? So let me explain real quick. So I did cheat. I looked up the password online. because we wanted to hurry up and get through this because I have somewhere I need to be in a little bit, and I want to get these computers updated as well. I wanted to get a couple games in of Overwatch, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But I did want to finish up this rule. So what we're going to do is we got the password. Remember, we found that that version of WordPress was vulnerable, and that theme was also vulnerable. When you look up that vulnerability, there's a vulnerability where you can upload shell a code into their appearance editor. And when you upload that code and then navigate to that page, once you have your shell listening or your netcat listener running, it should um, call back and hit and give you a shell. So that's what's happening here. So yes, I apologize. I did cheat a little bit, but that's because I want to hurry up and get. I want to go ahead and finish this up. So we'll go ahead here, and then I believe it was 404.php. Was that not it? Let me see. Yeah, 404.php. No, so we should have a shell. Let me see. Right? Did it not work? Interesting. Let's try this again. All right, that didn't work. So we'll copy, paste, come back up. Let's make sure 1010, 140, 174, port 1234. Yep. Okay. Update file. Boom. Now that should be. Fam, where's our shell? Try this again. Start up our netcat listener. And 10, 140, 174. Is it because you're in quotation marks? I think that's what it was. It's nuts. This is nuts. Ten, 140, 174. Try this. Maybe I had it backwards, and that should have been, instead of removing the quotes. Yo, what is happening here? Go back here. Okay. Well, I guess it's not going to work for us right now. Because what's supposed to happen is we're in the 404 template. Oh, dummy. Dummy. Dummy, 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 dummy. 1 second, y'all. My fault, y'all. I was so caught up, I wasn't even paying attention, and I'm a complete idiot. That's on me. 10, 10, 18, 232. I was putting in the wrong IP address. That's my fault, y'all. My fault. And there's our shell. My fault. So I was rushing and trying to get done, and I wasn't paying attention. So I typed in the wrong IP address. I typed in the target IP address and not my IP address. So it couldn't call home because it didn't know where home was. So that's my fault. So, all right. So now let's see if we can get a stable shell. So we're running Python 2.7.6, so that's fine. So we can go Python -C import PTY, okay, colon PTY dot spawn, and then we want it to spawn quote /bin /bash quote. Okay, and now we should have a double quote there to close up that one there. And then we'll hit enter, and now there is our stable shell. So now, okay, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, we'll just hit ls. So now we have our bin, our binary dev boot. Let's see, anything here interesting? No. Okay, so we're in Linux. So let's cd into the home, hit ls there, and then we can, what is that? cd into robot, and then we'll ls there, and that should be our key -2-of-3 .txt permission denied. Okay. So we can't access that. So if we can't access that, okay, so we do have an MD5 file. Can we cat the MD5 file? Cat password dot raw -MD5. Okay. So now we have the MD5 hash. So we can go ahead and hit copy. Now there's a couple of different ways we can do this. We can use John the Ripper, but I'm just going to go ahead and go use the online crack station. Please stop. Crack station, and we'll just paste that in here. I am not a robot, and then we'll crack the hash, and that is our password right there. Okay, so now we know we have our password. So now that we have our password, let's go back, and then we'll do sudo. Should we do sudo or su? We'll do su robot. We'll hit paste as our password, and now we have that was successful. So now, because of that, we should be able to again cat key -2-of-3.txt, and that is our second flag. All right, so let's go ahead and just do a recap of what we just did here. So me not thinking, I was entering the wrong IP address. I entered the right IP address for the shell, and I got a reverse shell back. With after that, we figured out what version of Python it was running, which was version 2.7, and then from there we upgraded our shell to get a stable shell. And then once we got the stable shell, we navigated around. We got into the home directory, found a folder called robot. And in that robot, there was a key of two. There was another text file that was the second key. That didn't work when we tried to access it, so its permission was denied. But there was a raw MD5 file that said it was a password file. So we opened up that password file, and then using CrackStation, which you can find online, we cracked the MD5 hash, got the password, came back, told it to run a super user as super user command as the user we were, which was robot or robot. I shouldn't say the user we were, but of the robot user. And then once we did that, it asked for the password. We entered the right password. It gave us the right password. Came back with the right password. Gave us access, and then we got the second flag. So now we just need to go and figure out what to do from here. So now we are the user robot. So let's see what the user robot can do, what access it has. So we'll do that by running the sudo-l command. And again, we'll paste our no, that's not our password. Our password is this. Coming back here. Sorry, user robot may not run sudo on Linux. So in order to do that, we will go ahead and do we have, okay, so we can close this, we can minimize this. Okay, so now do we have, do we not? No. Okay, fine. I was hoping it was already here, but doesn't look like it is. Doesn't look like it is at all. So we can't run as root. So let's do this. Let's do it manually because I don't want to have to go ahead and go ahead and run. I was going to see if I could just download Linynum and move it, but I think this might be better. Yeah, I think we could use this. I just want to see. Ooh, running against the clock, y'all. Running against the clock. Hmm. Let's try this one. Might need to change it up a little bit, but let's try that. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is I'm trying to see um, what files have. Uh, I'm trying to find the files that have a permission that's set to like 4,000. So that's like the suet bit. To try to find something here, which I think I did here with this nmap, because again, just using this, the CTF side of things, you can tell from there's a vulnerability in nmap that if you go to interactive mode, it should allow you to pop a shell. So we're going to go ahead and do nmap dash 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 interactive, and then you do that, and then that should bring up that. And then if you just do bang shell, you should see now we have a root shell because we have the pound or the hashtag symbol instead of the $sign. And just to confirm, if you do who am I, it is root. And then if you do ls, we're back here. And now we'll just back up. And now we'll back up again. And if we go into the root folder, hit ls, and then we just do cat key -3 -of -3 .txt. That's not going to work because I said CST and not cat. So cat key -3 -of -3 .txt. And there's our third flag. So we'll go ahead and we will hit paste and hit submit. And we are done with this room. So we'll just go ahead and hit completed here and here, completed here and here. And now it says we've completed the room, share with your friends. We're not going to do that, but we did complete the room. And like I said, I again cheated a little bit, so my bad. Just out of curiosity, did it ever find? So nope, doesn't look like it ever found the right file. So we would have been here a while. So I'll just go ahead and cancel this. We'll discard it. We'll close this down. Yes, we're sure we want to exit. So recap. We found an F Society website. We did some digging, found out that it was running WordPress in the background, ran some WPS scans, saw that it was vulnerable. It was running a vulnerable version of WordPress as well as a vulnerable theme. Did some credential stuffing to figure out the right user. The right user's name was Elliot. And then we did some brute force to figure out the user's name. Oh man, I am my fault, General. I was in here going back and forth. No, I'm sorry, I did not see the chat because I was looking in the wrong place. But yeah, Lin Pease for the win. Yeah, like I said. So um anyway, where was I? Oh, so we found out it was vulnerable to word. It was a vulnerable version of WordPress running a vulnerable theme. Uh, Once we got the password, we entered the back end of the WordPress site. Appreciate it. And then once we got that, we knew the theme again. I knew the vulnerability. I'm familiar with that vulnerability. So we uploaded a PHP file, but then my dumb self kept putting in the wrong IP address. And then when I got the right IP address, we figured it out. Put my IP address so we can call home and not call back to that machine. Got into it, stabilized the shell. Once we stabilized the shell, we got the second key. After the second key, after that we did some privilege escalation. Found the fluid bit that showed that it was running a version of Nmap that was vulnerable, or elevated version of Nmap. So if you run Nmap in interactive mode, you would be able to get the shell. So that's just to recap. So again, now that I have done it, I do remember doing this VM a while back. But yeah, General, I'm about to end the stream because I gotta go. I actually have a meeting I have to go to, but and then I'll probably be back on later to do the new season of Overwatch. So we were doing this while we were waiting for Overwatch to update, Overwatch and Apex Legends to update, and it took a little bit longer than expected. But like I said, I have a meeting I have to get to, a business meeting. Hopefully, this will land some more stuff going on here at the Alpha Esports and Technology Center. So I'm gonna log off. General, again, thanks for rocking with me, and my apologies. I didn't see. I didn't see you in the chat. I was looking. I had the chat open, and then I checked something else when I was checking the status of the updates. But I see. Yeah, I'm looking at the timestamps. Yeah, he came in towards the about 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago. All right, but my apologies nonetheless. I will be on tomorrow because I want to talk about, or I might upload a video. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but I want to talk about this AppSec thing that I'm going to be working on. So stay tuned for that, and we'll probably get some gaming in tomorrow as well. All right, so until next time, y'all be safe. Y'all take it easy. If you are in the Northeast, man, get warm. Hopefully, the snow isn't too crazy. I got some family up that way. I'm gonna go call and check on them as well. All right, y'all. So y'all be good, and I will see y'all tomorrow.